A few fun things. Whenever my parents are going out, especially during the holidays, they will lock us. They will lock us in the room. I remember clearly it was myself and my sister at this point, my younger sister. My parents will lock us in. My dad would give us a lot of schoolwork or homework, if you like. And whenever we finish, we'll cry, we'll eat, and I remember I would go to the window and hold on to the window as if I am able to bring down the window so that I can go out, because I can say I was a stubborn child also, that could also contribute to why my parents beat me a lot, so that instilled a lot of discipline in me. I played soccer in the street with fellow young people. I remember Akim, great soccer player, of our age. He now lives also in South Africa. I remember Sheon Dada, brilliant young man, highly cerebral, and in fact, he went on to be the head boy of their secondary school. So yeah, those are some of the fun memory. You play with tires. We did kites. Even some of this home farming. We would cultivate. We'll cultivate corn, cassava, tomatoes, and all of those things. One other fun memory was that we were the first to have a VHS player. If you don't know VHS, Google it or ask ChatGPT. Okay. The adverse effect of that is a lot of people would gather in our house and room specifically. So people will be hanging on windows and trying to watch Rambo. We watched Rambo. We watched, and my dad loves action films. Rambo, Impossible Mission, your Sylvester Stallone movies, your Chuck Norris movies, all those kind of, and Indian film also. We watch a lot of Indian films. Interesting. Your Amitabh Bachchan, Dharmendra, So we did that, and when people would disperse, the entire room, would be hot, and we would have to open the curtains and open the windows, switch on the fan for longer, and so that the house can be cool. And sometimes this thing can go as late as 9 p.m., 10 p.m., because then there were movies that are 3 hours long, some 5 hours long, especially the Indian movie. So, but one thing that happened, one of the things that I remember very vividly was that there was this particular day that before my dad returns from work, I have obviously returned from school, and obviously he has warned us not to switch on the TV, let alone the VHS. But as a stubborn guy that I was, God has really helped me now. But as a stubborn guy that I was, I disobeyed him and, put on an action movie. And the usual thing happened. Everybody hanging in the house, sitting, and the entire room was very hot. And guess what? He returned from work and met us there. and guess what happened? Everybody dispersed, and I was left alone to face the consequence of what I did. And this man beat me. I really faced the consequence. So if your house was such that people would gather to watch movies, VHS, and all of that, please let me know. My dad, loves music. We listen to your Obey, your Sunny Ade, your Shino Peter, Fela, and some jazz music, some, even, what is it called? Michael Jackson, and all the 80s music, we listen to them. My dad is highly in tune with music, and that's then, I believe, inspired him to then have a record sales store. And I would eventually be the manager of that store. So you can pick some of the disciplines that I learned from him, and also the entrepreneurial aspect of those things. So Dad, shout out to you. Thank you for raising me well, and some of the things that you have taught me. And let me know in the comment section below some of the things you learned specifically from your dad. And my mom, she will send me to go and get agege bread from the bakery, and I end up falling in love with the bakery and the process of making bread. And instead of me just going there to go and collect bread, and I would stay longer, help them push the dough into, I wasn't allowed to touch the dough, but I would assist to push the dough in the that's already in the pan into the oven. And these are firewood ovens. I would push agege bread into the agege dough, if there's anything like that, into the oven, and wait for them to get done, and assist to bring them out also. And I will be compensated also for that, maybe be given an additional bread, that I would then eat sometime before I get home or when I get home. So that was a fun one. And also, when I deliver the bread at home to my mom, I will be the one to go and hawk the bread, And I remember there was a particular day that I went hawking bread, and I think it was a weekend, either a Saturday or a Sunday thereabout. I would I went hawking bread and go around the streets, all over the area there in the Mangoro, I can't remember the name of those streets vividly now. But I would go from street to street. This particular day I returned and I was crying a lot, and my parents were like, "What's going on?" They thought I was hurt or something terrible happened to me. And I made them to understand that I didn't sell any, and they were kind of amused. But I was, I kept on crying, and they later persuaded me. So those are some of the attributes, that contributed to the person that I am. Obviously, play with my siblings, take care of them, as the firstborn of the family. A lot of responsibility was placed on me growing up. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. Thank you so much, and God bless you. See you in the next episode.